So as you can see, we've got our piece of MDF and I've drawn my design on one side so I don't waste any of this material. I can use this for a second prototype if I need it. I've drawn a dot where I want my hole to be. So when we're using the drill press, we must wear eye protection. And all I need to do, I can hold the MDF by hand because it's nice and big. And this is where I'm going to drill my hole. I turn the drill on at the front. And then I take the handle and all I do is I pull through until I can feel it, that it's gone all the way through. And then obviously turn it off when you're finished. We have this piece of scrap wood underneath to stop any blowout. So the hole is the same size both sides and it's not bigger and sprayed out on one side. So now we've drilled this hole, we're now ready to cut our shape out on the scroll saw or using a junior hacksaw. So for most of the year 8s, you've used the scroll saw before and this is a recap, but for the year 7s, pay attention because this is going to make your life a lot easier. So the scroll saw can cut curves and fairly straight lines, but there are a few things that you must do that will make your life a lot safer and easier. Number 1 is that we wear our eye protection. Number 2 is that we keep our hands either side or behind the blade. Never push into the blade because if you slip, you may cut your fingers. So when we're holding the material, hold it with your fingertips and have some downward pressure. If you don't hold the material down, it will bounce up and down with the saw blade and it won't be very pleasant. With the saw, you can have different speeds. I'm just going to turn it on. And as you can see and hear, it has different speeds. It's actually a lot easier to cut on a higher speed because you don't have to push as hard and you let the saw do the work. So I'm just going to cut around this shape. This is quite an easy shape to cut. When you're cutting, don't push too hard into the blade. Let the saw blade do all the cutting work for you. And when you're doing curves, you can just go very, very slowly and turn the material around the blade. Here we go. Now, before I finish this, you may have noticed that I was moving my hands around the material and adjusting my hands. By doing that, I always have contact with the material and it doesn't allow it to bounce up and down and the blade pull it up. Now, one other way we can do a curve, if you're not confident doing curves, you can actually cut a few straight lines and then we can sand it curved at the end. So it might look like this. So here I've just cut 2 straight lines, in and out, and I can sand or file this to a curved shape.